If you're seeing this, and it will likely be for a reason, but as always, my love, take it how it resonates, leave what does not. And yes, this is Manly counting on, I've reached out to you first. Let's see what's coming through for you right now whenever you're seeing this. Seven of Wands just jumped on the floor. Oh, so we're a bit afraid of setting some boundaries, King of Pentacles. So you're doing better. The Ace of Pentacles, King of Pentacles. You're doing better. Or you're about to be doing better. You've been sowing your seeds of manifestation, praying, manifesting, doing your thing, and things are starting to manifest. And what slipped off the table? The Seven of Wands. We will retrieve her in a minute. You're afraid now because you know that you're going to have to start setting in place boundaries, and you don't want to. But you're going to have to, because this version of yourself that you're becoming, which is successful, abundant, getting their bag, getting material upgrades, praise be to that. I don't know why I said that. Maybe that's just significant for someone here. Yeah, you're going to need healthier boundaries. Let me go and get the Seven of Wands. That was really quite difficult to pick up for some reason. Again, Seven of Wands and the Ace of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles on the bottom. You have worked hard. You've worked really hard to get to this point. And 7 is a number of luck, abundance. I'll see it as one of completion now. And again, you really have worked hard. You've really worked hard to get to this point of achievement, of manifestation. And this is your sign that you need to defend it. You need to defend it. Don't be afraid to set up healthier and stronger boundaries now, because I feel that you're trying to pass the book here. You're trying to go, oh no, I can get what I want, but still, no, you need boundaries. It's like what Spirit is showing me in like my mind's eye is like, I don't know, like the image of like the crown jewels, like where it's in like a glass case and it'll be like security protected, like almost like that's like you. Your life, your intentions, what you've created. You need to have better security. The Knight of Wands here, because what you have coming in first and foremost is exciting. These are opportunities. This is you being able to explore more of your passions, your hobbies, your inspirations. For some of you, I'm even hearing like you might even meet someone who inspired you. Like, you know, you maybe bump into someone who you watch online and you go, oh, that you really inspired me to do this and to go after that, and now I'm doing it. 6 of Wands, the Devil reversed, and the Death card at the bottom. Again, you've changed. You've really healed a lot of wounds when it comes to being seen, when it comes to putting yourself out there. But you still need boundaries. I feel like this is like the stickler that you keep on avoiding. You know, you're like, oh, I'm so much healthier now. I'm so much this. But the one thing that you keep not putting in place is boundaries, because you're just kind of hoping that people will go with it. You're kind of hoping that people will be respectful. You're hoping that things will just work out. No, you can't live on a wish and a prayer. You've got to also back it up with action and consistent effort and mean it. Stand on it and mean it. Because the Knight of Wands here is all as good as it is. It also gives a slightly frivolous energy. Frivolous with your energy. You know, you're rising to a period now of real success, of real achievement in your career, in your goals, in your aspirations, in your material objectives in this world. And there's nothing wrong with that, because I see that it's come from a genuinely good place. You know, people are like, oh, you know, but I don't want to live in the world. And it's not about living in the world. You have to live in the world. Hello? Like, you, flesh and bone here, you have to live in the world. You can't be, you know, ascending into the skies 24/7. You know, you have to live in the 3D. You have to live here. But it's about doing it and creating your desires, but from a healthier place. You know, when you used to manifest before you were healed, you were likely focusing on a toxic partner or an unhealthy friendship or just things because you wanted to have things. Now you're so much more intentional with what you manifest. That is how you live in the world, and you obtain worldly goods, but you're doing it from a place of alignment and of spiritual cleanliness, if that makes sense. So I just want to also just preface that, because that's also been something that's been coming through. You need boundaries. You cannot afford, energetically, spiritually, physically, emotionally, you cannot afford to not have boundaries anymore. And you keep pushing it away. You keep going, oh, but I don't want to do it because I don't want to look. It doesn't matter how you look. I thought that we'd healed our wounds around being seen. This is the final step. All you need now is just to have like some good spiritual security in place, because your life is, it's going up. It's going up. okay? You're really manifesting a lot of good things into your world, so protect them, okay? Four of Cups. Four of Cups with the Knight of Swords and the Moon on the bottom, the Ten of Wands reverse, the Ace of Swords reverse, the Four of Wands reverse, Queen of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, again, it just keeps on coming back to the same thing where you're more afraid about what other people will think when it comes to you having boundaries, and so you go, oh, but I don't want to do it because people will think this. You know, the fourth cup is like all your thoughts. You're getting all these blessings, but then you're kind of going, yeah, but I keep on getting this nudge to set boundaries and to not say yes to everything and not to lend people stuff and to not offer to pay for everything. And I don't want to, you know, you're racing with all these thoughts of possibilities and all these fears about what people are going to think and say and do. I almost feel like with the peach here, I would see it's like forbidden fruit hanging above. It's almost like what you're afraid of is being seen as selfish. You're afraid of being seen as selfish, but it's not you being selfish, it's you having worked hard for what you've obtained, and that's actually within your control and your power to dictate what you give. You could be selfish, you could. If you want to, go ahead, do it. Be selfish. But I don't think that you want to be. I think that you want to give, but you want to do it on healthy terms. And I'm not going to say on your terms, I'm just saying on healthy terms, because healthy terms looks different for everybody. But again, don't be frivolous with your abundance. Don't go giving it to everybody. Don't go giving into every single demand that comes your way. Oh, can I lend some money? Oh, could you loan me this? Oh, could you take me here? Oh, could I have this? It's like if you say yes to every single person's demand, what's left for you? Like, you're not a vending machine for other people to use and abuse. And I feel like this is something that has been constantly circling and just roaming round your thoughts. And you're afraid to walk that way. You're afraid to walk in the direction of having boundaries because I feel that you're more bothered about image. You're more bothered about what people say about you. And going, oh, you know, well, now that they're doing better for themselves, you know, they've become quite selfish and a bit mean. So what? So what? Maybe that'll give that person the kick up the bum to get their own abundance in order and not be dependent on yours. There we go. Just saying. There's nothing wrong with wanting to help and wanting to gift people things and wanting to surprise people, but it's wrong for other people to expect that of you all the time. But you also set the expectation by what you allow, okay? The Fool reverse and the Page of Swords reversed. This is a wound from childhood because you perhaps never got shared with, you perhaps were never really given stuff by other people, and so you know what it's like to feel left out. And you don't want to leave anybody out or leave anybody behind, but you also need to understand that it's not always about thinking about other people. Sometimes it's about going, okay, maybe I do need to put myself first, as cringe and uncomfortable as it might be. I do actually need to start kind of thinking about myself, because you're very, very apprehensive here about setting boundaries in place, but they are so necessary because you're creating such a beautiful life for yourself, and that deserves security, that deserves spiritual protection, but you've got to be the one who instigates it. Yeah, the Five of Swords. I know, look, the Nine of Cups, you're afraid here of quite simply pissing people off because you're blessed. You know, it's okay for you now. You've got this and you've got that. Yeah, well, maybe you need to go and do the work, okay? It's not about falling out with people. It's not about you winning at all costs. It's not about you trying to annoy anybody. But you've done the work to get here. That's a pat on the back for you, but it also deserves the respect of boundaries. And anybody that doesn't like that, yes, you may lose some people, but were they ever really, really your supporters in the first place?